So same thing, I'm just gonna come around. I'm not gonna put myself on you, but I'm coming around. Now, you're a nice example because you're quite pregnant. So in this case, I can just sit here and I'm lightly lifting the baby. But what am I doing? See how you're flagging back on the sit bones and I'm going back into the pelvis. Just that light touch. I wait because that's an unusual sensation for you because you might adjust, but the baby stays the same. That might be more what you're used to. But see how I'm offering you a counter by that light lift and rotation.
You're helping me.
Yeah. So now I'm going to do, now see, you came a little bit too forward with the chest for me, right? So that's where I start coming around. Drop the belly, but lift the chest up. And then bring that back. So see how easy it is to quiet that kind of momentum in the upper body. And in your case, the rotation is actually back through the back, down through the sit bones. You know what I mean? I'm working on this giant circle.
Right. So, yeah, because one, and they are opposing.
Right. Now, if I was doing same, but still, see how the belly's going to come up, while the chest cavity goes down, and then I rotate through the chest. And that's where I'm working, let's say, more the back and into the relationship with the chest cavity. Right?
Right, and then this goes
Versus
this way.
where if I was lifting, again, the baby, and then around again. That's it. So now I'm going to bring both hands just down again. So now I'm starting to actually rotate. So I'm lightly lifting up on the left where I'm bringing down on the right. Ah, right there.
So my right should go right. Even through that.
I am, but see right there where it's hard to fan out the rib cage. Do you see how you're starting that you would come over the head? You're not counterbalancing. See that?
I'm like just side bending.
Right. So that's where I might come in and just behind the neck to offer again that counter. There you go. So I'm allowing the rib cage to fan out on your right. And I could also quite nicely just come underneath the elbow and work on the whole shoulder girdle from the same position. You see that? That's it. There you go. So see how you can work on those proprioceptive responses. See how I rotate the elbow?
You go like out this way, right?
So I'm not, see if I held this elbow straight, see the difference? Feel that? Versus if I just lightly rotate that elbow, how much more available you are for that movement to continue with the same amount of...
Yeah, because then it goes here, and when you stabilize it, it was just going like
Right.
shoulder.
But if you look
As a
at a
hinge
child
almost.
move, they never stabilize. They're always... So now with the elbow, ooh, see I can drop. So now I'm countering as I'm walking. Just looking for little parts that either the uterus is attached differently to the muscle. Ah, right there. So this is where I would come back. And again, just acknowledge it or whatever you want to say. Going back into your pelvis. Just again, giving it a counter so it can stabilize. But you can already start to feel, see, this is now, I've been working this whole time to the right pelvis. If I came over here, feel the difference?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're a person that's doing this kind of work all the time. It's not like, you know, you've never done body work before. But most of the time, I'm sure you are doing more work that was this way, where you're taking the belly and it going externally from you versus bringing it into your system and out. So you're working with more of the balance features. It's amazing. She's so changing inside. Baby, you can feel her just go like, woo. Ah, right there. Feel again. So now I'm going to start doing a bit more to the left. And this is where maybe I'm going to do it different. You're a right-handed person. You're going to have different organizations to the right, to the left. So the lesson might look similar, but at the same time, it might look, I might have to do something completely different. Both would be valid.
So that is more towards flexion. With same one.
Right, but you can see right here where the chest cavity has a hard time going into the abdomen here. So feel it here. Feel the difference of how it slides in versus here. So that's where, there you go. Notice my elbow goes up. I'm not even stabilizing. I go around you. So I morph and imitate your movements. Or I'm morphing to imitate, so you imitate my movements. But I'm touching you in such a way your brain should not know the difference. Are you doing the movements or am I doing them to you? I'm never trying to fix you. But I'm always offering a functional movement, like this is tying your shoes. I'm never thinking like I'm trying to loosen the belly or something like that. I'm always thinking of a function. And I'm just going to bring you back for a second because that was a lot. I'm just going to go back to the original. But this is where I can do my detailed work. The more and more that I get available, the more and more I can really go in there. It's like I like to say, I don't just tune pianos, I tune Steinways, you know. That's it. That was the first time. You feel now the stomach tonus?
Yeah.
How you're springing out now?
Yeah, it comes back.
And see with that bounce, look at how nice you come right over that pubic bone. It's like you're writing yourself to center. See how neat that is?
Yeah, it really became more bouncy.
But no, see how that you write yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not behind you trying to get you to sit up. This is just a natural occurrence that should be in your system. And that's what I was trying to show you the other day. I'll show you the ball in the water. When the ball's in the water, you do it slow enough that it will automatically find center and it'll defy gravity. But you see how once your system mechanics learns this kind of function, how the whole body just wants to look for it now.
And you can use it in any dial of a sundial direction. In a way.
This phenomenon should happen within any part of the body.
From the rebound.
Yes. This is where I'm trying to say it's like that stored kinetic energy when it happens properly. But see, this is throwing the ball. See now how, you know, your shoulder automatically synchronizes with the feet in through the pelvis to throw a ball in, say.
Walk fast.
Yeah. So now look at how I can rotate the whole uterus in through the spine. This is a position you're not right there familiar with. So I'm just going to let you hang out for a second. Let that breathing happen into it. Right there, it's just to catch on the lungs, ribs. Peanut's acting like she just got a dose of sugar. Again, I'm just going to go back to the original. But see now when I bring you forward, how your jawline automatically finds that horizon. You're not falling forward. And that's where the eyes stabilize in a way that people aren't used to. So now at this point, let's say I'm going to come behind on the iliac. Now that I have less momentum in the head, see, now I can go and do so much more through the pelvis.
Right. And they're coming over.
But if I had done that right in the beginning, you would have fallen forward. But also by going this slow, again, you find your balance.
Yeah, and really, right? Like the upright comes like they just.
I'll show you how I figured that out with the ball and bowl of water.
The side is still not one to see. It's a little different.
Circles. See now how you can play with the pelvic block in this way.
Yeah. And then the neck just works itself.
Right, that's that counterbalance. It should be in every facet, in every direction, because since we oppose gravity, we can do this in any direction. An inanimate object like this peanut cannot oppose gravity, so I have to find the fulcrum point and then create it. So that's when people say, this is, quote, your center of gravity. Well, maybe in this position.
Right.
But all I have to do is change you, and you should be able to find your way in space. If you oppose gravity successfully, and you can oppose the two forces. But if you don't, that's where the system's going to knock it. So that's where you saw me at the end, where I come in and I do that floating baby thing, but I come in underneath and play and start looking at offering that into the system in this direction. But if you notice on the film, so I have to, how much I have to counter. Again, if I was here stagnant, see the difference? See how much you have way too much momentum versus your system working fine. And that's the joy you're going to get from having the baby, because you'll be so surprised that when you lift your child and bring back, how much you will have her system working with your system that you can do all that with. Just on a very natural level, because your bone's going to be different than, I'm not saying you don't love your clients, but it's just, you know. But see how I'm hardly touching you, I'm just enhancing the movements like a dance. So see what that feels like.